Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? How's it going? Need to put my earbuds in again. Oh, well, it is the Twilight Zone. That's from 1976. Little bitty, I don't know if you call it digest, but little bitty nice book. There we go. Now I can hear myself. It's a 4 o'clock shadow show. Hey, trusty sidekick, what's going on? Interesting thumbnail. Yeah, you have entered the Twilight Zone. Space Ghost. That's Space Ghost. Look at that. Put that in a little projector. Like that. Have a little cartoon. The Unseen Space Ghost. This one here is called, I have to take these off. Space Ghost in Puny Pirates, which I guess is and it's number 9. And you can show it from the other side. It has writing on there, so it has captions. But yeah, these things, did they survive? This one did. And it's a little bit used. You can tell. A little bit damaged, but pretty nice shape to be as old as it is, I'm sure. Let's see if I see a date on here. 1967. So, wow. 1967 Space Ghost when he went on popular on cartoons in the 60s. Don't see many of those surviving. Yes. Good to have you in here, Trusty. Hey, Renee. I know you've had a harrowing day. We got 2 winners in here. Since they've already won, well, you know, the next person that comes in wins. Hey, I'm doing good. All right. How about this? A 64 Buick Riviera. This is number 1 out of that 6 series. Yesterday we showed the Super Friends, which also had the had Super Friends on the hood and the Superman symbol on the door like this one though. But how about that? They cover to Superman number 1. That's pretty cool, huh? Yes, you did win. Not today. The next person that comes in though will. And I wanted to show you what I talked about yesterday. This is a quick drawing of the Flash by Carmen Infantino, which, you know, and then what to do here. Get you a little lighter fluid if it's on plastic. And let me get this nozzle up here with this X-Acto. And I'll show you how to remove that sticker residue. Of course, this only works on plastic. If it's stuck to the, there are some videos out on that if it's stuck to paper. I once had tape go whoop to a Batman number 7 cover. Thousands of dollars worth of damage, probably. So put you a little, here's the area. Had a sticker on it. It's in a Mylar, so it shouldn't hurt the Mylar. Hey. She's hearing the kids play out there across the way. Put you some on the sticker area. 1 shot ought to do it, maybe. Soften up the, see what I'm doing? Soften up the area, and you can use your thumbnail a little bit, but just get it soft first. And of course, it will evaporate, but I have a used sock here that's great for dusting these items off to show you. And also for wiping off this lighter fluid that you don't want the residue left on there, right? And some are, this has been on there for a while, so it's being a little stubborn. But you just keep working it till that gum gets soft on there, till that glue gets soft. And then take your used sock that's, see the heel's out, so. And then wipe that off and repeat if you have to. And you can even moisten that a little bit if you want to make sure you get all that petroleum residue off, and wipe it real good. And it should come off. This one's being a little stubborn, but it'll come off. But I'm not going to take the time to do it right now. Here is a Ghost, in a nice condition Ghost. Bronze Age goodness. That's in a Mylar, and a Mylar makes it look shiny, from the early 70s. Nice skeleton cover, nice shape for these, you know. The ones I've mainly seen are like war books. They're well read, you know, people read them. Let's see. Did you know that Tales of the Unexpected from DC Comics became Unexpected? Now, this is issue 108, and it was just called The Unexpected. And I think they kind of redid the logo as well. This is 60s, 1968, September 1968. You know, not in that greatest shape, and it's a black cover, which is condition sensitive. I've got some Jack Adlers to show you, but before we get to that, how about some, you know, I showed you yesterday, Fat Ear Bunny being my favorite Easter time. I don't know. I just like how he's so jolly and the fat ears but this one has a foot, what we call a foot. I'll take it out of the bag real quick. Got a Russian bot. And I dropped it. Okay, it didn't do any damage, but it's got what we call a foot. Put it on my forehead, that way I know it's solid. Yeah, it's got a foot, and this is a thin foot, real thin, and later they became thicker. So these were easily broke off. Of course, after Pez dispensers, I destroyed mine, or the ones I didn't destroy that were in my toy box. If you have like rubber bands, rubber balls, different things, there's a chemical reaction that happens to plastic, and it you know, melts. It has melt spots. I do have some that have melt spots. Now, these were painted back then. This is probably I can't see. They don't go by year number on Pez. They go by patent numbers, and the oldest is 26, and that would have been from the 50s, 60s. But this is probably made in Yugoslavia. But anyway, you can see the nose is a little off. It's not rightly centered. And sometimes you'll often get that with some of these old ones. But that is a thin foot. Now the other two are really neat. They were given to me. And they are, and these things, I mean, they don't have any foot. They're no foot, but they have the original candy and even a little color piece of paper that has you would wet something, a brush or something that has the colors up top there, the little paint, and you would paint the little robot here on the little card. So it was a little paint set with this. So how rare is that to still be in the package from the 1960s? Probably 1960s. Yeah, watercolor paint set inside this package, free. And it talks about what to do to paint it. Pez candy. Of course, Pez goes all the way back to 1927. An old German, Austrian type company. And then here's another one with a blue stem. You have same paint set. Blue and green stem. No foot. Thin foot. A lot of thin foots broke because they're so thin. Then they went to a thicker foot. Yeah, I hope you, let's see. Yeah, you know, streaming every day at 4. We'll eventually work up to an hour. You know, to be 4 o'clock shadow, I sure have been getting a lot of sun lately. So I had my sunglasses on. No, I just wanted to look cool. But anyway, let's see what I have up here. Jack Adler collection. Of course, Jack Adler was the archivist and colorist. Put that out of the way. And this is Superman Daily from the 80s, I believe. And I was the first one to buy one of these from the guy that was selling them, selling them. I get that Southern in there, selling selling them. We often cut corners on enunciating things, but this is a daily, and it's has numbers. It has a sheet over it. Paul Cooperberg, Vince Coletta did the inks. You can kind of tell that if you know Vince Coletta. But yeah, it's got a cover sheet on it, and I guess it's kind of mounted on this cardboard here backing. But that's part of the Jack Adler collection. I'm going to have to ask Robert to send me something on this, COA. Really, I was the first one to buy one from him. Then my friend bought a couple, 2 or 3 more. I have some more Jack Adlers down here, but before we get to those, just some hand stuff that I pulled out of the safe. I got in the safe last night while talking to Mike on the phone, Renee. Just talking to Mike on the phone, seeing what I got down here, what I have down here, what I got. Hey, wear gloves. Wear gloves. I keep these in the safe, little usher gloves. If you're handling expensive collectibles, whatever it is, you might want to put on a cheap paint, so that you don't get the oils off on your hand and you can freely, have articulation of your fingers and not soil the plastic or paper or whatever with the oils. That's why when you go into caves, they don't let you touch the stalactites and everything. Usually they have one that everybody can touch, and it's discolored over time because so many people touch it and the oils get off on the stalagmite. But yeah, you might get some gloves for those if you really have some expensive collectibles. That's little hints. Glad to see Sidekick uses Scotch 3M magic tape. And yeah, that's something in the last 2 years where I saw the little pull tabs. I've never considered doing that, never done that. But yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Here's a fine plus, according to him, 52 pages. Bugs Bunny, and none of us were born then, June 1950, in the Circus Mystery. And when it has a byline like this, I bet you this is a four color comic, number 281, one of the early ones. I bet that's 4 color. 4 color ran for over 1,262 issues, a long time. I guess from the 40s to like 1962. So for a long time, pretty nice condition, be 1950. My father was 18 and graduated high school in 1950. Of course, I was adopted, so he was always a little older than me. But, he would be older than me, but older than my natural born father, probably. So anyway, here's another nice Bugs Bunny annual or album, number 724. So that tells me on the numbering that this is a 4 color. It does have a little loss of color down here. This is from September 1956. Very good minus. Of course, it being black around there, very sensitive. Of course, some tape or sticky thing got on it right there. You can see the damage. And it pulled did it totally rip it all the way through? No. It just ripped that top surface luster off that had the color. And what I did to the Batman up here, the Batman number 7, the tape. I said, I'm good enough to put this in there without taking the tape off. And the tape went bloop. And I said, oh, crap. And that's what happened. How about, I have one back there too. That's not as old. Joe Palooka. That was Harris Comics, and I think this is Harris Comics too. Now published every month, over 1 million copies. It was not unheard of in the golden age of the 30s, 40s, really, to sell over 1 million copies of a comic. It was cheap entertainment and people bought it. Well, here was Joe Palooka selling over 1 million copies. That doesn't mean 1 million of them are around today by any means. This is Joe Palooka Comics. Of course, he was a boxer, and that's a boxing cover there. But now here's sort of a wartime cover, guns and knives. Or very early issue of Joe Palooka, but it says right up here in blue, over 1 million copies. Can you imagine over 1 million copies? It was only towards like the early 90s before any comic would sell over 1 million. I can't think of anything before that, but there may have been. Number 9. I mean, the X-Men covers, the Spider-Man that Todd McFarlane did. Let's see. We covered the Pez. We covered just some neat collectibles. Some of the first comics, like I said, were giveaways like this. I guess this was a giveaway. At shoe stores, like Red Wing shoe stores, when I go look for shoes. I and Mike went look for him some shoes today, Renee. He may have to order them from them. Okay, I did an action Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo action figure, Series 2. This is Series 1, DC Comics Pocket Superheroes. This is Solomon Grundy and Green Lantern, Golden Age Green Lantern. Of course, they've ruined him by... These came out several years ago. Have you ever seen those? And on the back has a color photo of all of them. There's 23 pocket-sized figures of the entire DC universe. Do you believe that? Come on. Pocket-sized figures of the entire DC universe? I don't think so. Collect all 23, Series 1. It has Green Lantern and Sinestro. That's the Silver Age Green Lantern. And Golden Age Dr. Midnight and the Atom, Silver Age Aquaman and Black Manta, Golden Age Starman and the Shade, which was an old villain from the Golden Age, Silver Age Flash and Captain Code, and I'll show you these here in a minute, Silver Age Wonder Woman and Cheetah, Firestorm and Red Tornado, Golden Age Dr. Fate and the Spectre, Cosmic Boy and Saturn Girl, and I have some of those. I think I have that one. So they have some Legion of Superheroes ones. And then Mon-El and Lightning Lad and Golden Age Green Lantern and Solomon Grundy, which this is. And it also has a deluxe Martian Manhunter with the Justice League table and chairs. Now, how cool is that? These came out, don't see a date on them, but looks like maybe 2002. But let that focus. Shows you Aquaman and Black Manta and all of them there. And I'll show you the Legion maybe tomorrow. That's sort of a DC Direct type thing. Those are something you might want to collect. Now we get to some good Jack Adlers, I think. Let me stand up here and just see. No, I got some more. More goodness. I'll show you a couple cartoons when I was a kid. How about that? Because this is going to be a mixed match like it was yesterday. That's probably what I'm going to do, show a little bit of it all. So that way it appeals not just to comic book people, but other things. This is a bootleg copy that I made years ago, but one of the favorites was In Color by Hanna-Barbera, but it's little known today, 1967 through 1969, so pretty popular. Of course, it was young Samson and he was a boy, and he had a dog and named Goliath. And it was young Samson and Goliath, and he would have 2 bracelets and ching them together, and he would turn into a young Samson superhero with strength and stuff. And the dog would become, the mangy looking dog would become a brown pawed, I believe, lion called Goliath. And of course, he could fly. I don't know, but he could fly, and he could shoot laser beams from his eyes. And there's young Samson and Goliath. Love that. If you haven't tried it, pretty good. They're fairly short, This will show you the boy before he changes and after he changes, and the dog, and then Goliath there. Like I say, this kind of a set that people put together probably off TV and then did this. But I appreciate anything. I don't think they've ever officially released this. So bazooka gum and strips. Yeah, hey, I've got some stuff like that. I'll have to look it up. Tried the bags with the adhesive strip, but I don't like the location adhesive. I don't either. I've had more accidents with them. Not really, but I just don't like them. I think they're a cheat. Vince Coletto inks are very easy to recognize. Yeah, he was, he was on a time limit, and I don't, he did so many Thors, Jack Kirby Thors. Another one was, and I was amazed, when I watched this, it was that it was early animation. Early, I mean, it was early, ooh, I gave one of my friends a DVD, what'd you say, collection that, like that of the Herculoids. Yeah, I have one. If you look right where my thumb is, that's Herculoids. And I got two, which it includes bootleg, and it's I've got Space Ghost like that too, and the official releases. But the I play these because they're, you know, get scuffed up. It's not going to be hurt anything, but really, but uh there's a Herculoids right there where my thumb is back there. And then I have another one somewhere over here, and it has the 80s, the 80s when they had a, but King Kong, the animated, the early Japan, and this is not all of them. I wish I had all of them. And here's some of the, and it also had four big episodes of Tom of Thumb, THUMB, and that stood for something, a spy sort of thing, very miniature, and would go on adventures. But here's some things on the back. You can kind of see how they did Kong there and up here, and pal around with some human friends, and this boy here that was always dressed in the red and white shirt. I think they were on an island, probably Kong Island. I'll have to rewatch these. This is only volume one. I need to go on and get the whole thing. There's now this, whatever glue, I've tried this on this, and you see it had one of those long stickers there, and it just won't come off. So, I mean, I'm not just going to scrub and scrub and scrub. As long as it's not sticky. I think I got the sticky off at least. I don't want it to adhere. For a long time, it would adhere to something, so we kind of had to keep it by itself. But those are a couple of the 60s cartoons that I watched when I was real young. Do I remember every episode? No, but I remember the openers. They would play the openers again and again and again. The first, and I'll show you some artwork done by someone that has the Galaxy Trio, and I might even have some Herculoids, but I know I have Tobor the Eighth Man, and Tobor is robot spelled backwards, and he was like an android. And I just remember the opener, this giant Godzilla. I'll show some DVDs tomorrow on that. Super Comics. Dick Tracy was not only in, and it's a Dale magazine. This is an early one, a 10 center from the 40s. I believe this might be like number 100. I'm not sure, but I should look. I should label it. Should have labeled for the show, but that's Dick Tracy. Of course, Dick Tracy came on in the 60s too. I'll show that set that I have that I bought a few years ago at Sam's. I was happy to get those. I was like, I watched this. Blaring sirens at the beginning. Mighty Mouse from the 40s, number 14. What makes this kind of special, not only is it in Terry Toons Presents Mighty Mouse, but if I open this up, it has two covers. It has this cover and another one just like it underneath it. So it's a double cover of that old Mighty Mouse Victrola record playing cover. So that's pretty rare. Not only the book being in this nice of shape, but that it has 2 covers. And of course, if you had it graded, the grade would be what the grade is. So if it's a 9.8 inside and say a 6.0 on the outside, which it probably wouldn't be, but let's just say they would go with the 9.8, even though the outside looked like a 6.0. Yeah, this is a double cover. Charlton Ghostly Haunts. Pretty good shape. They have written on the book. I haven't changed that bag yet. Ditko cover. It says 2 covers. There's 2 covers on that. And this is 20 center, so it's going to be early 70s. Charlton. Ditko cover. 2 covers. Pretty nice. I'm seeing double. Double vision. Here's a double cover of Avengers 278. John Buscema was drawing it again at this time. And I've had, of course, had the black female Captain Marvel who could turn into light. She's becoming popular. And also has Dane there, the swordsman, and the character that was in there for a while, and Hercules is pictured up here, and a child's face. So I don't know. I have to go back and look, but yeah, that's a double cover. Collected a few double covers. I used to have a Superman that had 4 covers, and I had one that had 3 covers. Out in the wild, I found a 2 or 3 number 2s, and a 4th really I didn't get out in the wild. I got from the other guy. Now this is a movie I went to see. I usually watch those early Walt Disney stuff. Walt Disney, and of course, Dick Van Dyke did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He's still alive today, as you know, he's old, but extra 16-page catalog in here. Lieutenant Robinson Caruso, photo cover, 25 cents, so mid-70s. Chimpanzee there, get that glare off. But this is a cover. Imagine you open it up and you see a double cover. Now, how does that happen? It goes down the line, the forms like this and the covers, because it is stitched, what we call stitched or stapled. And the line may stop. Well, the momentum is going to keep those forms and covers still moving. It may be that they're tightly, nobody knows that the inspector's assistant's supposed to catch that, but it might be that coming out of the presses, the one of the inks or some of the inks is still kind of, tacky and sticks a couple of them together. I've seen that happen with plastic too, on plastic. Here's an unusual one, a giant size issue. That Wilkin Boy. Have you even heard of that? Not really. Number 20, 25 cents. That Wilkin Boy. And it's a double cover. Sort of in the Archie series. But that's got to be a rare one. I mean, to be in nice shape like this, be a giant, which are, even I'll collect the giant Archies if they're at a good price. I used to. Had a guy that I get them for like about $1 a piece, and I bought a bunch of them, but they were like all the giants. But this one has a double cover. And another double cover. Very good. Where are we looking on our time? Good. 2 Avengers there. Avengers number 75. Early John Buscema, like on his first run. And the other one was a later one, but that has a double cover. Of course, these things are going up in price, 15 cents. So early 70s. Now we get to some one-of-a-kind items. How about that? Of course, I've already shown you some Robinson Crusoe the other day. I'd like to watch that again. Yeah. There was a movie by John Barrymore, who is Drew Barrymore's grandfather or great-grandfather. And he, like Lionel Barrymore, his brother, he played Mr. Potter in the Jimmy Stewart movie, It's a Wonderful Life. The cranky old man in the bank with the wheelchair, that was Lionel Barrymore, John Barrymore's brother. Their sister also acted. So it was an acting family. And then, of course, Drew Barrymore. But he did one of the early talkie movies that John Barrymore did was a Robinson Crusoe type takeoff, modernized. And it's a pretty good movie, and I would recommend that. I'll try and find the title to that. This is an interesting one because it's hand painted, comes with a certificate of authenticity. See how nice he used to do those? Tells you exactly hand colored original art for Star Spangled War Stories 144. It's amazing how crude they made comics. He likes made a copy, a stat or whatever, a copy, and then he went in with watercolors and colored it, even like if it was going to be in white, like the 12 in white and what number, issue number 144, even small details like presents. This is Star Spangled War, and it says presents the Hammer of Hail, enemy ace. Come out, Von Hammer, you coward, face me, man to man. And it says down here, but it's X'd out even on this special issue story illustrated by Alex Toth. Now, Alex Toth, he did, and I got an earlier video on it, he did Herculoids model sheets, and I have that if you haven't seen it. It's on an earlier broadcast, and you'll see it. I have it up there. You probably already seen it. And then, but now this is Neil Adams. It's actually Neil Adams in that box. They changed it. So, but this is the color guide to it, hand painted, and it is signed. This is how he used to sign them. There toward the end of his life, he would sign Jack Adler and put a little heart above it. I don't know how good. That's a pretty good shot of his signature. But he would sign these for Robert, and then of course I bought them from Robert. But this is a Joe Kubert cover, and this is one of the few issues, if not maybe the only one, that Neil Adams actually did inside. Special, but I like that this is so early. It still has Alex Toth there. It may be X'd out, but instead it says something Neil Adams there on the finished cover. So it's interesting to put this production art when it has differences like that against the actual book that came out, because without this, you wouldn't have the book. One of a kind. Anthro. Oh, I actually had an Anthro. In fact, it may still be the time I bought it. Take it out of its little sleeve here. We got clinging on to the back there. Okay, don't need that. 9.0 Anthro. Second highest graded at the time I bought it. 1968, September, October issue. Of course, they only ran about 6 issues, but here's a 9.0 CGC graded Anthro. Second highest grade copy, they say. So nice to compare that, a graded book in high grade that would still looks new, you know, newer than some I bought on the stands, with the painted and signed by Jack Adler color guide. Told you I was seeing double. But it's all good. Yeah, that's signed by Jack Adler with the little heart in Sharpie. And this is his painted. If you see, you might see some brush marks or something. See there up in the logo, he put the 12 cent and the red where the DC and Superman would be in red, and the issue number down here in white, just painted in. Pretty nice. One of a kind. Throw this in the trash, you'd be gone. There wouldn't be no more. This stuff was scrapped. This one has a notation signed in ballpoint pen. This is a trim, early 70s. Simon and Kirby. There was only 2 issues, 1 and 2. They were reprint issues. of the old stuff, but with new covers. And this was a new cover done by Carmen Infantino, signed by Carmen Infantino, and the inker was AO. So I wonder if that is Joe Simon inks, but I'll have to look that up. But yeah, signed right down there, Infantino. And there's the cover to that, number 2. And there were only 2 issues. So that's a great one. Hey, I'll collect both of these reprint issues from the early 70s. Reprints the early 40s stuff that's expensive. 1, 2, and you're done. You know, pick those limited series and try and collect that stuff. Right, let's see if there's any comments real quick. Nope, not yet. Any more? All right. Only have about 3 more left, but they're all, and these actually have the staples in them still up top. And this is painted. This is signed by not Barry Windsor Smith. Take 2. Take 2 and call me in the morning. Bernie Wrightson. Painted. You can see how they do that. They just put a swipe of red there over the 20, over the DC, it says House of Mystery with DC in the middle, and they went red, 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 red. This is all going to be in red. And then even here, look at just the little scribble. Couldn't put it in there, so he just put in white under the logo, little scribble marks, just an indication, because this is a color guide to show the printer. And it has the printing notes on it, what colors he wanted it to be in. And there it is, signed by Bernie Wrightson in gold down below. And they're watching TV with a couple of gargoyle, demonic looking things looking in on him. Oh, but you say, wouldn't it be cool to have 2 of those? Well, you're right. It would be cool to have 2 of those. The painted and signed also in gold. A diptych, what I call a diptych. 2 of them. This is the trimmed approval cover. Uncut final test cover, as he calls it. House of Mystery 213. Of course, they each, see, it has the ads printed on the back. Full wraparound. Those test covers generally did. And I actually have an 8.5 of this one. This one's signed by Bernie Wrightson in silver. Some of his early stuff. Just a little posted stick-on notes that he put on there and send it to me. So I'm sorry that's covering up so much. But nice skull cover. I'll have to show the graded 8.5, I think I have of that. But nice big signature by Bernie Wrightson. Of course, Bernie Wrightson came up with Swamp Thing and is sadly passed away now. And the last one is a Joe Kubert, but it's signed by Jack Adler. And probably the best one that shows off. It's Our Fighting Forces, another longtime DC war book, and The Losers with Captain Storm, Johnny Cloud, Gunner, and Sarge. And this is number 145, and it's the painted version. I don't have the COA with it, but it's probably in the safe. And nice, I think this is a Nazi cover. It's definitely a Luftwaffe, and it's in a Mylar, so it's kind of shiny. But there's Jack Adler with the heart to the side instead of over it. Nice Jack Adler cover. And I love to show one of a kind. Of course, even I only have a limited supplies of one of a kind items. So, but we'll show you something interesting every day, I guarantee you. I think that's everything that I pulled for today. But hey, how about a bonus? This is 1 of 2 copies I have of this. This is the Atom number 36 with the Golden Age and Silver Age Atom. This magazine isn't big enough for 2 atoms. Burst through cover, the world's smallest superhero. Of course, this Silver Age 12 center. Great cover. But I have like a very fine near mint one of this that could be graded. And then this maybe keep them in the raw for me. But look at the colors. And that's Gil Kane artwork. Wonderful. Wonderful. Love the little atom up there with the little atom symbol above the old DC logo. Well, we didn't have a third person, didn't have a winner. But beautiful. I love to see the panels. I call it burst through cover. And I've shown stuff like that before. Of course, this was one of 2 issues. He's also in the next issue, I think. Duel between the two dual atoms. So we've got to see some great books, action figures, Pez, one-of-a-kind production art. What else you want? Something original? Okay, I'll show you my werewolf I did. Here's one. And one I'm working on. So don't forget Devil Flyer, my character. It's up on the mail up. If you hadn't signed up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for coming in. And you keep collecting. I sent the link to one of my groups, hoping someone could join it. Great. Oh, okay. Well, Mike, he can watch the one with you. I'm not going to give him one. So peace and keep collecting. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.